This is part 2 of our weekly update on all the vegetables that we've got growing in the yard. In this video, we're going to be looking at everything that was planted outdoors, in the garden, in the barrels, in the tires. So let's go take a look. So between breakfast and dinner the other day, the parsnips popped up. I'm going to assume they're parsnips because they're all in those spots where we hollowed out the cores. So, as I said, within one day, a couple of hours really, they went from nothing to this. So that's exciting for the parsnips. These are the turnips that we transplanted. We had planted them indoors. They're looking a little rough around the edges, but holding on. Looks like we lost a couple, like one here, maybe one up there. That one doesn't look like it's gonna make it, but that's fine. Overall, I waited a long time to transplant these, too long. They were actually stretching for the sky when I transplanted them, and that was my fault, obviously. But our other ones that we grew from seed, right in the barrel, they're doing just fine, and will need to be thinned a little bit because we had good germination. And it's got a mesh over it because I didn't want any birds pecking at the seeds. The potatoes are sprouting. I'm getting both plants coming up in most cases. This is the Caribe up here, just starting to break through here. It's already come back there. You got another one over there. So those are all doing well. This is a white superior in the front, and I think a Yukon in the back. Hasn't popped through yet. Over here we got a couple of Yukons coming up. Nordlands are mostly slow, but these were the ones that were beaten by the frost. So obviously that one's planted. This one's sprouted. This one's just breaking through, and I'm sure the others are going to be coming through soon enough. Got a russet, I think, here, and a Sharpo mirror there. These Sharpo mirrors are coming through, and they're all doing well. Looking healthy. So looking forward to seeing how these actually produce this year. My buckets of russets over here, just starting to see one pop through here now, and I don't think I see any others yet coming through. This could be the slow russets that I had. And the only problem I've seen with any of these buckets is this one here, because when I water them, I fill it up with water here, so that this hay is actually floating a little bit and lets it drain all the way down to the bottom. This one actually didn't drain. That water just sat right on top the entire time. I ended up pouring it off. I'm not quite sure why that is. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that one. But otherwise, I'm confident they'll all do well. The russet potatoes that we planted in the ground, they're all looking very healthy. All are sprouting now, popping up through the ground all along here. You can see the ground breaking, so one should pop through there. So you get another one coming out here, maybe there, but everything is looking good. So we'll see how they go. As they grow a little bit taller, while I won't hill them per se, I will cover them with the shredded hay, which will provide a form of hilling for them, and just to protect them. And any potatoes that may push up through the ground, though there really shouldn't be, because we did plant them down deep. But we'll see. And as I said, I will cover them anyway with hay once they've established themselves, like grown to about 6 inches or so. But that looks good. I've got my plum trees and my peach trees here, and just right below them I tucked in a whole row of the Waltham 29 broccoli, just because I had no room for them. So I figured the mottled shade might just be enough to keep them from being beaten down. Who knows? We'll see. It's like 90 degrees today, so I'm hoping that the shade helps them beat the heat. It may be that once all these trees leaf out, that it'll provide too much shade, but I figured I'd give it a go rather than just wasting the plants. Similarly, I tucked in 3 more of the Waltham 29s right here. It's just one of my garden beds. If you notice, the others that were still in the somewhat sunny area, they're like wilting a little bit in the heat. These over here, they seem to be doing just fine, and it's in the shade. But we'll see how these do. Again, these were just tucked in because I didn't want to waste the plants. The broccoli calabrese has settled down, nestled in, and is doing quite well. So these should start growing more strongly now and putting out a big head soon enough. This is the first batch of lettuce that I planted, the red romaine, and it's looking healthy, really putting on a lot of growth now. So I'm looking forward to the heads starting to form. You can actually kind of see them starting already. So they're doing well, looking healthy. Hopefully the ones that I planted in those in that tower look just as healthy in the weeks to come. And seriously, look at this garlic. It's just looking so healthy. I'm really excited to harvest this in a couple of months, but it's looking really good. So strong. This could be my best year ever for garlic. And these were ones that I just saved from last year. So they're looking good. Brussels sprouts also looking healthy. As you can see, I put my tomato cages around them, and hopefully that'll provide the support for them when they start growing tall, because they develop that long stalk in the center, and as I mentioned, they have tended to grow in some funny angles in previous years without support. So hoping these cages will do the trick this year in keeping them semi-straight. Cabbage still looks healthy, and you can even see the leaves starting the very early stages of forming a head in there. So we should get some good cabbage out of them. The rutabaga also looks like it's taken well now. After the fits and starts that it went through to get started, it's looking good, putting on new growth. So soon enough, we should see some root formation. Not anytime soon, but soon enough. And that goes for the direct sowed ones. They were planted on the same day, but one indoors and one outdoors. And now these are starting to grow, so I mentioned I was gonna have to start thinning. I guess I'm gonna actually have to do that. The peas have finally started to sprout. You can see them starting to push up. So that's good news. And it looks mostly like the newer seed so far is sprouting. The older seed that I planted in the second row along the back, I'm not seeing that just yet. So we could just have one row, and then I'll know to get rid of those old peas. And last, we've got the onions. They've all started to sprout now. They're all doing well. It's kind of tough to see them amongst the leaf litter, but I can tell you they're all standing up, putting out 1 or 2 shoots. So soon enough, we'll be able to see them very clearly throughout here. The same goes for the onion sets. that we set out. They're all looking healthy, putting on new growth. Seems to be the watchword with a lot of the vegetables that I've described today, that they look healthy. And actually, that's what you're looking for in your vegetables, is healthy vegetables. So these are looking healthy, and they've already got the head start on the others because they're second year plant. And again, just like my garlic, these were saved from my crop last year. So once again, I'll save more garlic bulbs year to year just to continue the traits in them. They've acclimated themselves to my climate, so they'll be a good addition to the garden. So between the last video, which was part 1 of the weekly seedling update, and this video, you can see that everything's growing pretty good, or starting to get their growth on. So I'm really excited about all that's happening. So if you want to see what we were doing in the garden last week, check out this video right here, and then subscribe and hit that notification bell. And that way you'll be able to follow along on the progress on all of our vegetables as we try to grow a supermarket in our own backyard. Okay, thanks for watching.